Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio, and today, I've got some beautiful Pokemon cards to show you. I've started doing videos about the secret rares from each of the sets in Japan. The last one I showed you from GGDN turned out to be a fairly popular video, so I thought, right, time I showed you some slightly newer ones that came around in Miracle Twin. And as always, let's start off with the Tag Team GXs, because, well, there's actually 4 different versions of all the Tag Team GXs. So if we start off with Slowpoke and Psyduck, the regular art is kind of nice, it's kind of pretty. I mean, it's drawn by Mitsuhiro Arita, so that makes me kind of happy. But of course, there is also a full art version of Slowpoke and Psyduck. And of course, where there's a full art version, there is a rainbow rare version, which is of course just a full art, but rainbow-fied. And as if that isn't enough, we've got the alternate art version as well. Now, there is always an alternate art secret rare and all of that. And here, we've got a little Shouter. He's eating Psyduck's tail. It's kind of cute. Slowpoke and Psyduck as a whole is seeing a fair bit of play and success over in Japan. The main attack here lets you discard as many supporter cards from your hand as you like, doing 40 damage for each supporter card discarded in this way. It's actually proving to be a good card, seeing quite a bit of play. Now, we're also getting Mew GX. Now, Mew I think is going to go down as the very best of the Tag Team GXs, at least of the ones we've had revealed so far. And depending on whether they carry on into the Sword and Shield cards, we might be getting very close to the end of them. Now, his regular art is on the screen. Here is the full art. And of course, here is the Rainbow Rare, which is just the same as the full art, but rainbow-fied. But give a shout out to the secret rare here, the alternate art, where Mewtwo has clearly had enough of Mew shenanigans. It is an awesome, awesome piece of artwork. The great thing about Mewtwo and Mew is that you get to copy the attacks of any GX Pokemon either on your bench or in your discard pile. And this just opens up options for days. It means you can be Reshiram and Charizard while having a different weakness. I did a video just the other day, I'll try and remember to pop a link in the description, where I showed you how in the expanded format you could use stuff like Dimension Valley to reduce your attack cost while copying any attack, Battle Compressor to put cards into the discard pile, so you could easily copy Evolve GXs without having to do the whole evolving thing. It really is just a little bit over the top good. And of course, we've got Mega Sableye and Tyranitar, which is the other of the Tag Team GXs coming in the set. The regular art is on the screen. Here is the full art. And here, of course, is the Rainbow Rare. Same art, but rainbow-fied. I do kind of love the secret rare here. Tyranitar is clearly celebrating something. Sableye is eating some gems. He's doing what Sableye does. This is another card which has already been seeing quite a lot of play and success in Japan. The real highlight here for 5 energy, if the defending Pokemon is an EX or a GX and is knocked out by damage from an attack, you take an extra prize card. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a little bit over the top silly good. Now, the GX attack 5 energy is 250 is fine, but then if you've got 5 more energy on there, you discard the top 15 cards of your opponent's deck. Yeah, that'll add up pretty quickly. Having a look at the regular GXs then, we've got Latios. Here is the full art. Here is the Rainbow Rare. Latios is a very interesting Pokemon. The ability says that if you've got 4 or fewer Pokemon in play, you can't attack, but generally you will, and otherwise, you can always use a Power Plant to turn this ability off. The main attack is what we really like here, Psychic Double Colorless, and then next turn, you don't take any damage from Tag Team Pokemon. That's pretty good. Incidentally, I've done videos about all of these Pokemon. I will link them all in the description. We're getting Aerodactyl GX. Here is the full art. Here is the Rainbow Rare. Aerodactyl's got a really nice ability. Your opponent's basic Pokemon's attacks require an extra energy, which is kind of cool. The attacks as a whole are fine. Fighting double colourless 120 is fine. GX attack for 1 energy doing 50 damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active is fine. It's not amazing, but it's alright. And we're getting Dragonite GX. Yes, I know we've already had a Dragonite GX. Dragonite GX I like very much indeed. It just does 270 for 5 energy. And then you discard 3 of them, but we're going to be using triple acceleration energy to pay the cost here. So that falls off when you attack anyway. So it doesn't really matter that you've got to discard them. So we are fine with it. I am a huge fan of this Dragonite. I think it's going to be legitimately great. We can use stuff like Lance to get the Dragonite out more easily. That's going to help. And then we got all kinds of things like the Dragonite from Team Up to help you find supporters, etc. Yeah, I'm a pretty huge fan of this. I think it's going to be really good. So those are the GXs and the tag team GXs, but we also need to get ourselves some full art supporters, and we are getting 3 of them. We are getting Misty's Request. I love Misty's Request. It lets you search for free supporter cards and put them into your hand. Well, that's pretty gosh darn good, especially considering that, well, you've got Slowpoke and Psyduck. And Slowpoke and Psyduck wants to have supporters in hand so that you can discard them. See where we're going with this, ladies and gentlemen? This is phenomenal in that particular deck. It is going to make a difference. Without this, Slowpoke and Psyduck would be nowhere near as good, but it has this, so who really cares? We are getting Channeler, which is getting a lovely new full art. Channeler removes all effective attacks on both you and your Pokemon. It means it will stop stuff like special conditions if they came around from an attack, not from an ability. So something like Mareep putting you to sleep with an ability, this would not get rid of it. But it also stops things like item lock, which is going to be pretty gosh darn handy. And we are getting Blue Strategy. Now, Blue Strategy is a fun one. Blue Strategy, at the end of your turn, draw until you have 8 cards in hand. Cool. It doesn't really help you during your turn, but then you get to the end of your turn, and you draw 8 cards, and you're beautifully set up for next turn. Is it going to be quite good enough? In a lot of decks, probably not. But in a lot of decks, it may well be. Yes, it's your supporter for the turn. No, it doesn't really help you out right this second, but it will help you out in the future. Consider me cautiously optimistic that there will be some decks that play this. And then, of course, we need some secret rare item cards as well. And we got, well, 2 item cards, 1 energy. We've got Cherish Ball. Cherish Ball lets you search your deck for a Pokemon GX. Yes, there is an argument that we don't really need extra help for GXs, but there's another argument that who cares, we're getting it. It's a good card. It's going to see a huge amount of play. It's going to see a huge amount of play. In any really good GX deck, this is going to be the best thing we've got, especially bearing in mind we're losing stuff like Ultra Ball to the rotation. So, you know, yeah, people are going to love this. Giant Bomb. If it's attached to a Pokemon and you would take 180 damage, your opponent's Pokemon that's attacking takes 10 damage counters. Yeah, it's kind of like Bursting Balloon, but way better. And does, you know, only if you take 180 damage. So it's not perfect, but it's still pretty gosh darn fun. I expected to see a fair bit of play. And then Weak Guard Energy. It's a colorless energy that takes away your weakness. And I use this example in the video I did about it, but if Flash Energy can see play taking away your weakness, then Weak Guard Energy can definitely see play taking away your weakness. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all the secret rares from Miracle Twin, and a very quick explanation of what they are and whether they're good. As I said, I'll put links to videos about all these cards in the description. So if you want to dig into these a little bit more, either one or all of them, wink, you can do so. For now, I'd like to know which cards you like, and because we're really focusing on the artwork in this video, I'd like to know which ones you think are beautiful. Let me know in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about games that don't even have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching PTCG Radio.